Good morning. So it's May the 28th, 2014. This is one of the hives that I put one of the 3-pound package of bees in on May the 1st that I videoed. If you've seen that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Today I thought I'd give you an update. Again, it's May the 28th, so it's been 27 days, almost a full month, since those 3-pound packages of bees have been put in these hives. Anyways, I'm going to talk about a few things about the hive like I try to do every time, and hopefully you'll learn something, or if not, maybe you'll enjoy it. One of the things that I wanted to point out to you, and excuse my shakiness, I'm going to freehand this, is this hive, these bees found a little crack underneath that, between the hive top feeder and the hive itself, and you can see them coming and going up there. That's not where they're really intended to come and go from. And that leads me to another point I was going to make, is you see this right here? This comes out. Well, it's supposed to come out. Obviously they've got it wedged in there. Again, excuse my shakiness, but it's hard to do. There we go. I was going to talk to you about this entrance reducer. This is what you call an entrance reducer, and the reason you use that is because when the bees are building up and you've just emptied a 3-pound package of bees in there, if you leave the whole front of that entrance open, they've got to defend that entire entrance, and they're very small numbers. Of course, there's only 3 pounds of them. That's not even a third of a full hive. And so anyways, that's what that does, is it just reduces the entrance. You can have it where it's just maybe 2 bees, one can come and one can go at the time, or you can open up a little bit, or you can just take the whole thing out, which they've built up to the point now where I think I can remove that entrance reducer, was my whole point there. Let me give them a little bit more smoke. These girls have built up pretty well, actually. They look like they have. There's a few bees on the bottom of that hive top feeder. And that's another thing I was going to discuss here in a few moments, is that I'm going to do away with that hive top feeder. It's not going to be up there anymore. I don't really think they need the help. They look like they've done quite nicely on their own here. Are doing quite nicely on their own now, I should say. Just trying to make a move over a little bit so I can get to this first frame. If I can get it out, it makes the rest easier. Now remember, when you first put these bees in this box, all these frames were like this one, even though they've started to draw this one out a little bit here and a little bit on that side. It's mainly a blank, what you call a blank frame. I'm probably not going to show you every frame, but I'm going to show you more than just one. Okay, here's one that they've drawn out pretty nicely. On the videos that I made back on May the 18th, that didn't turn out for some reason. The audio didn't turn out. Oops. The bees had only drawn out about 4 of the frames at that time. All right. If you see all this yellow in the middle here, or slightly tannish yellow, that's all what you call capped brood. Those will hatch out to be bees. The white up in the corners, across the top, back over here again, that's honey, capped honey. This is capped honey. This is when they haven't capped. And right below that is harder to see. There's some pollen. But that's very typical way that they work out a frame or draw out a frame. That's a pretty good pattern. She's got a spot or two in there, but that could be different things. Nothing bad. One of the things that's making this a little trickier is you got to remember those bees are using this as an entrance up here between that hive top feeder and the top of this hive, so they're all coming and going right here, which is making it a little more difficult for me, but that's okay. We're going to change their house around a little bit, and I think we'll get them going in the proper entrance here in about 2 or 3 days. There's another frame, as you can see. It's yeah, that's a nice pattern. You see all that brood there? She has laid that thing out well. Very nice. Honey in both corners, here and up here at my other thumb. Real well. Doing a very good job. This hive will be full of bees in no time. Those things will probably hatch out here in just a few days. It takes 21 days from the time that the queen lays the egg for the bee to hatch out of the cell. Let's look at one more frame here. Again, remember, this is what the frames used to look like. Nothing on them. Little beeswax sprayed on them to get them started. And it's amazing what they've done in almost a month. They're hard-working little bugs. There's no pun about the busy as a bee thing. That's serious stuff. Because these little girls stay busy. Like these have actually already. Are those eggs? I can't tell if there's eggs in there or not. Can you? I certainly can't. But there might be some in there, or it may be where some's just hatched out. Whoops. Sorry about that, girl. Yeah, I know, y'all are getting tired of me being in here. I don't blame you. One more thing I want to do. And then I'm going to talk to you about one more piece of hive equipment. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've almost got this hive drawn out. There's about 6.5, 7 frames. Actually, no, there's 7 frames. Yeah, there's 7 frames that are drawn out like those ones I pulled out. Those all look about like that one. Like those, I should say. They're drawn out pretty well. Let me hit her one more time with a little smoke. And I'm going to put her back together. Drop that a little bit heavy. Thought I was a little closer than that. Actually, I said there was one more piece of hive equipment I want to talk about. There's 2 more. Remember, I'm removing the hive top feeder off of that hive. I'm going to put this inner cover on here. And then really the only thing about it, other than it's a cover, is it gives them another place to come and go. And since these bees are already coming and going from the top of that hive, I wanted to give them a spot to come and go from. And if you see that little notch right there, this is going to lay just like this on top of the hive. And then when that telescoping lid cover goes on, I'll push it all the way to the front. So it'll be snug on the back and overlapping on the front. And the bees will have a spot to come and go in there if they want to, which they do want to. It's pretty obvious. They like the front. But they will switch down more to that bottom entrance now that I've got it completely open as well. They'll figure it out pretty quick. All right, that's hive number 1. Oh, that's right, one more piece of hive equipment. I almost forgot. When I put these boxes out here initially for that 3-pound package of bees, I put them on a unpainted bottom board down here. I don't think you can see it from that angle. I'll move the camera. There's not really much to it. It's just the actual bottom board down here, this piece here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this bottom board over there. And the difference is this one's got an extra strip of wood up here that sits it up another, what is that, about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch maybe. Actually, it's probably a 1/2 inch or more, 3/4 inch possibly. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that it sits it up. The reason that it sits it up a little higher off of the bottom of this is for this tray to fit in here. This is what's called a West hive beetle trap. We have a pest called African hive beetles. Small hive beetle, but they're from Africa. And you can load this with vegetable oil, I use garden lime, hydrated lime, because it's just a heck of a lot easier to deal with than vegetable oil or any kind of oil. The oil's going to go bad on you eventually. It's gonna rot basically and start stinking. I tried that when I first went to these traps, and I got away from that pretty quick. Uh, the hydrated garden lime's a much better way to go. But anyways, that little grate fits on top of there. That way the bees can't get down to it. The hive beetle larvae and the hive beetle themselves go down in there and get that lime, and it dries them out, kills them. It's a control method. I don't have a major problem with them here, but I don't even have I have a very small problem actually, but the point is I try to control it, try to keep it, be ahead of it, don't let it get out of hand. So basically what I'll do is I'll sit this bottom board down here like this. I'll blow some smoke in the front. I'll crack this down here with my hive tool, pick everything up, sit it on top of that new bottom board, and move it over there. All right, that's the first hive. I'll do the second hive here in just a few minutes.